Thank you all for joining us today as I look forward to a productive hearing. This first hearing we have is Communities Recovering from Disasters. As you know, and I say many times before, California is a disaster-prone state. We experience year-round emergency risk, often one right after the other. As our emergency responders move from disaster to disaster, it is important to revisit some of the hardest hit locations and evaluate the recovery. Despite our best efforts, people are being left behind. A few weeks ago, I toured the town of Paradise, 5 years after the devastating Camp Fire. While Paradise continues to build back, they still face issues such as the lack of funding for a central sewer system and low housing stock. Additionally, I visited the evacuation shelter in Watsonville soon after the community of Pajaro was flooded. Months after the floods, there were too many displaced families with unmet needs, a problem that still remains true. Furthermore, this community is home to a significant community of undocumented individuals supporting our agricultural economy. Rural communities and undocumented people are often disproportionately impacted by disasters. However, federal funds cannot legally be directed to undocumented people, and federal rules also require a very high threshold of damage to qualify for federal aid. This means that disasters in less dense rural areas can fail to qualify, putting critical aid out of reach for devastated families and individuals in those places. We're hoping to address these problems this year through legislation. These bills include our Emergency Management Committee Bill, AB 2660, which will require Cal OES to direct more federal grant money to locals, and also AB 2776, which would prioritize infrastructure and housing recovery projects in communities that suffered population and business loss in a declared major federal disaster. But redirecting existing funds will only take us so far. We also need to establish a dedicated source of funds for disaster relief to fill the gaps left by existing state and federal programs. This is why I'm also running AB 1786, which would create 2 disaster relief programs to help underserved individuals, families, and communities quickly recover from disasters due to climate change. While these are the initial solutions myself and my committee are presenting, I'm looking forward to hearing from all of our panelists for additional ways we can help communities recover. Let us work together to ensure the best practices are implemented and supported so that we can continue to serve and protect the people of California. I look forward to hearing from our panelists on how California communities are rebuilding and recovering from disasters and lessons learned, and how we can address any unmet needs.